You are live, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Copy Corner with Terry Schilling.
And Dan Marzullo, as always.
As always, of course, we're never going anywhere. It's always us two together. But guys, welcome to our corner of the internet, where we are talking about copywriting tips, digital marketing tips, and freelance marketing tips for the freelance writers out there, and how to grow a business and how to write your message clearly and confidently. I feel like I'm changing this up all the time, but I like it. That one felt good. But
Fire.
yeah. But today we have an interesting topic. This is a little bit more geared towards the business owners who listen to our show. We want to talk about why your company and brand needs to hire a copywriter. What are those moments where you feel like, well, I need somebody to help write this for me? And then we're going to talk about how to hire the right one for your job.
Yes, we are, Terry.
Yeah, nice give and take there, Dan. Yes, we are. You agree. That's great. He agrees with me today. Dan, we've been really busy. You've been moving around. So we're happy to be back in the Copy Corner. And, you suggested this topic. We've had people, this is like a big thing too, of like, how do we hire the right copywriter? I've heard this before as well from a lot of people.
Yeah. And I think there's a million reasons to hire a copywriter, right? But I'll jump right in. And I think, the first thing that I think of is, as the marketing manager, who's usually the one hiring the copywriters, is you're always looking for ways to creatively help your brand stand out, right? There's just a million messages and competing offers out there in the sea of marketing. So you got to do what you can do to stand out. And I think one of the easiest ways to do that is with like creative and engaging and fun copy. If your website and all your marketing materials and messaging are pretty bland in terms of the copy, it's just like everyone else. So one of the easiest ways to stand out is to really engage that reader and draw them in with creative copy. So try that to kind of set yourself above the bar from the competition, from, your competitor who has just average copy on their website.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't be afraid to add in that personality. I hear from clients a lot when they're writing their copy themselves and there's like, it's just not exciting. I feel like it's not connecting with my audience and doesn't have my authentic voice. What are some strategies of how I can do this? Because they write what they think is going to work, but then they're like, but it's not exciting enough. And they're not really sure how to do that. I think a copywriter coming in with fresh eyes, Dan, can definitely help you with that.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Terry? What's your reason people need us?
So a big reason for me for why people would need to hire a copywriter is if you are looking at, let's see, email marketing and open rates are down and, the click-through rates are really bad as well. Or you have a sales page running ads and the conversion rates are really low. People may be clicking the ads, but then they get to the landing page and then they're gone. Poof, nobody's buying your offer. You need to look at your messaging, and hiring a copywriter can help you with that. Because if you can have this great idea, but again, if you can't communicate this message clearly, you're going to lose out to your competitors. And that's why copywriting is such a desired skill set and desired position to help companies grow, especially in the digital age. They need to have that message kind of be so cohesive and clear and engaging, like you touched on, Dan. And hiring a copywriter can really help, again, come in, look at what you're doing, look at ways that we can fix this, tap into some of the human psychology that a lot of copywriters know about, and come up with a new message that can potentially increase those conversions, increase those open rates, increase the click-through rates, and then, of course, increase your bottom line, which is always the goal. You want to make some money through all of this. And that's what a copywriter can definitely, help you do when it comes to your messaging.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head there, Terry. That's like the best example of, hey, it's sales driven, it's conversion driven. That's the number one reason for sure.
Yeah, it's like you can look at your product, or people know that they like your product. Like you need to increase the sales. Like look at the messaging. Is it saying the right things to the right people? Like you can't be too broad. You can't cast this wide net. Try to speak to someone and not everyone. And sometimes I see that's really a big case with a lot of the sales pages and websites that I see.
Right. So Terry, if you were in the market for a copywriter, how would you hire one?
Yeah. So great question, Dan. When we get into why you need one, now let's talk about how to hire the right copywriter. And the big thing is you got to know what type of writer that you need, because sometimes you may need just some blog content and you want people engage with your content. That way you may need a content writer. But again, we're talking about copywriters here. So some people focus on email marketing. Some people are more conversion focused on the websites and the sales page. Some maybe I just write for social ads, right? Find out what project you need, what services you need from a copywriting standpoint, and then determine, all right, I need to hire a writer who has this experience in this industry, in this niche, who can help us with email marketing, who can help us with website. Because you can't just say, hey, I need a copywriter. And then you talk to one and they're like, well, they don't have this much experience. You're kind of like, well, what do you do then? How can you help me? You don't want to get stuck in that situation where somebody says, I'm the jack of all trades. You may want to focus on getting one who has that, who has that experience working in exactly what you need.
Right. Yeah, we know, Terry, right? Me and you know people that just write websites. That's all they do, So they can be super niche and find what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. And then another key, Dan, is when you do find out what type of writer that you need, focus on a really good job description. Talk about what the specific parts of the project that you need. If you're a big company, talk about your culture and your vibe and the personality. Get that out there so they can get a good idea of what you're looking for as well. The job description, you don't just need to say, I'm looking for a killer copywriter to help us increase conversions, right? You need to be more specific than that. So the right ones are reaching out to you, and then you can filter out the right copywriters, the right copywriter that you need ultimately.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, for me, LinkedIn is huge. If we can, that's where I would be posting those job postings and reaching out to writers. I think that's where they seem to be the most active, and you can get some credible candidates there.
Yeah, absolutely. Post jobs on LinkedIn, Indeed, Upwork, Fiverr, but definitely be specific with those descriptions. You want to make sure that you're hiring the right one. Think about the experience levels too. If you want to pay for quality over quantity in this aspect of people flooding in, of reaching out, like I'm interested in working on this project. But definitely think about the experience level. Do you want somebody with, 5 to 10 years experience, or do you need somebody, or, you might just want to take a chance on somebody who has, a little less experience, because there's a lot of copywriters out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if you're kind of weary on, justifying the ROI of a higher cost copywriter, I mean, just think of what are you going to get out of it, right? If they're going to optimize that landing page and you're going to make thousands and thousands of dollars on it, then that copywriter that costs a little bit more was worth your time, right? And money.
Yeah, no, man, absolutely. And, they could just reach out and be like, how much time they're going to save, all these other different features and benefits that they're going to bring to the table to help you save that time and ultimately make you some money, hopefully. So yeah, Dan, great point. Great point indeed. All right, everybody, that's what we got today for why your company may need a copywriter. And if you do, how to hire the right one. Good stuff here today.
Good stuff, Terry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back. We'll be back consistently with this stuff. Dan was moving. He was having some big life events. So, it's understandable, buddy.
Yeah, we had to take a week off. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, all good. But again, guys, we are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify Podcasts. We are on Google. You can pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts, I'm pretty sure you can search for The Copy Corner and find us. But we also have them on our YouTube channel. That's what we do. And we do them live every week. Do them Mondays at like 10:30 a.m. Central Time, give or take. But you guys can always tune in live and chime in and answer some questions. But we've been really enjoying this. And so, thank you guys so much for listening. Anything else, Dan?
That'll do it. See you next week.
Yeah, everybody. See you next time. Bye. We're waving, but you can't see us.